Hello, humans. Michael Herrick here with HIPAA for Humans, realistic cybersecurity advice for healthcare. Multi-factor authentication is one of the most effective cybersecurity controls that you can implement at any organization. After encryption, it's probably the single most effective cybersecurity control you can implement at your healthcare organization. HIPAA compliance officers sometimes overlook multi-factor authentication because there's no HIPAA specification for it. There's a HIPAA spec for passwords, there's a HIPAA spec for encryption, but there's no HIPAA spec for multi-factor authentication. That shouldn't surprise you. Remember, HIPAA is quite old and it's technology neutral. If you're going at it from a compliance checklist point of view, you could overlook multi-factor authentication. But if you're looking at your HIPAA program as a risk management program, multi-factor authentication is definitely one of the best things that you can do. According to research from Microsoft, multi-factor authentication can stop more than 99% of account breaches. So it definitely should be part of your toolbox. It definitely should be part of your HIPAA risk management program. People ask me all the time where they should implement two-factor authentication. What systems should we have two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication implemented on? Essentially, what you want to be looking for is any system that processes, stores, or transmits PHI, obviously any PHI system, but specifically any PHI system that is accessible from the internet. Those are the systems you should focus on for your multi-factor authentication, and two in particular I want to call your attention to. First of all, your email systems. Again, often overlooked. People think there shouldn't be PHI in email, and that's good to say in a theoretical way, but in any modern organization, you can bet that your email systems have some PHI in them. And remember also that your email systems, email tends to be the keys to the kingdom at any organization. Even if there's not sensitive data in the email, gaining access to an email account could enable an attacker to get access to other protected systems. It could let them reset passwords. It could let them impersonate authorized users. It could let them launch social engineering attacks. So email is definitely something that should be protected with two-factor authentication. It's even more important if you're in a cloud environment. If you've got all of your Office files and your Office software in a cloud hosted provider, then that email account is probably protecting a whole bunch of shared files and all kinds of business information that should also be protected. And the good news with modern email systems is that it's usually pretty easy to set up multi-factor authentication, particularly if you're using cloud hosted email. Look for that and get that rolled out to your organization. For those of you who are in perhaps a more traditional non-cloud environment, that leads me right into the second system that you should focus on. If you have a traditional IT infrastructure with on-premises servers, you probably have access to those servers from outside the Office environment, right? From the internet. And you're probably protecting that access with something like a VPN. And if you've got a VPN granting access from the internet to your internal environment, that VPN access should definitely be protected with multi-factor authentication. So look for any system, any PHI system that is accessible from the internet, and start with your email system and your VPN systems. Now, I know that there can be some implementation challenges with multi-factor authentication. All I can tell you is that it's well worth it to make the investment, make the effort to meet those challenges and find a way to implement multi-factor authentication at your organization. Two tips that I can give you. One thing that comes up for a lot of our clients, particularly our FQHC clients, our federally qualified health centers, they run into the problem that not everybody at the organization has been issued a personal smartphone. And a smartphone is a very convenient, easy way to implement a second factor of authentication, using the smartphone as that second factor. Well, if not everybody at your organization has a smartphone, there are other options that you can go for. One of the ones that I really like, a lot of really good USB authenticators. This is just a little USB key. I keep it on my keychain, as you can see. I really like these. They're really easy. They're really inexpensive. They're quick and easy to get set up. And that can be a really good option for those of your workforce who aren't going to be carrying around a smartphone authorized for PHI systems. Another challenge that comes up at a lot of organizations is applying multi-factor on the VPN. And you can get distracted. There are a lot of very expensive solutions out there. You might look at some of these extremely expensive solutions and come to the conclusion that that's just out of your reach and that you're not going to be able to implement MFA on your VPN. A lot of alphabet soup here. If you're having trouble implementing MFA on your VPN, you might be surprised. There are some really effective ways to use cryptographic enrollment of your workstations to implement multi-factor authentication. So if you're running into challenges with that, reach out. We might be able to help you walk through some of those things and show you how multi-factor authentication could be easier and less expensive than you might be thinking. And when the time comes for you to do a risk assessment, if it's been a while since you've conducted a HIPAA risk assessment, we can help you with that too. And we can show you how a HIPAA risk assessment can help you set these priorities and also make the case to the executive team, help you get the budget and the time dedicated that you need to implement these kinds of security controls to protect the patient data at your organization. I'm Michael Herrick at Matterform. Please join me here every Tuesday for more HIPAA for Humans.